bigyan mo ako ng
I'm recording.
yeah, bigyan mo din ako ng ng ability to record.
Permission to
record. Okay, sige.
Great.
Okay, so I was recording na pala. Okay, nag-record na pala.
I'm the one recording. Did you hit your record for you?
Yeah, I also recorded pala kanina. Started kasi nag-usap na kayo kanina eh. I just edited.
Ready. Yan.
Okay, go.
Para professional tayo dito ngayon.
Ay, sus.
Yes.
That's good, pare.
Yes.
Before you record, can you hear the baka nakakaingay yung electric fan? Can you hear it? No. Naman.
No.
Sabi ko, may electric fan ba ako dito?
Yung sa okay naman.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. So,
all right.
Ready?
Okay na?
Ready?
Yan.
Okay Wag mag-dovetail, Anthony. Baka mag-dovetail ka ulit. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Good morning again, FMA community. Welcome to Karateng Garahe and June and Paul Show. So, guys, pakilala na ulit yung signature.
June!
Paul! Over there, teka lang, wala saan sila yung video ko. Paul, over there. You burden.
Henry.
And Erika.
Yeah, Tony.
Anthony.
So, again, yeah.
Erika.
So again,
guess natin.
we have another guest. Great pleasure to have Erika Fernandez on this show. So, welcome po, Ate Erika, on this show. Maybe we can start now, right? So,
yes.
Inumpisa mo na
usually ginagawa namin yung guest yung nagpapakilala. Telling about yourself, So, yun po.
Can you give a short description?
Okay, let me give a professional. Yes, what my co-host, Mr. Anthony over there is saying is that if you would kindly please introduce yourself and share a little bit about of an introduction.
Okay.
Hello.
Erika Fernandez. This is really random that you guys invited me, but thank you for inviting me. Actually, I'm not. Oh, thank you. Wala pa nga eh. So, I'm guessing why you invited me is because of the advocacy that I run, which I co-founded with my uncle, Patrick Alvarez. He is or was one of the black belts of Master Tuper from Bakbakan International. And he's been teaching me since I was, I think, 9 or 11, between 9 and 11. First, he was teaching me Taekwondo. And then after that, I got up to like blue belt, and then I stopped. I started playing a lot more team sports, probably for the better.
What kind of team sports?
Soccer, actually. I was a soccer girl until I went off to college.
Steve.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I still needed to kick something, so that was a good outlet.
So it's a good transition from Taekwondo into soccer.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it actually was. So, and then eventually I left for the States. I stopped football mid high school so that I could focus on my studies. And then I went to the States. And in the States, I was actually exposed to other forms of martial arts. Like, I believe I learned a little bit of Pikiti actually in the States. And I learned a little bit of Silat in the States while I was there for college. And when I got back, I went for boxing. So that's how I started kickboxing again. I had to get back in touch with my
Kicking.
my Taekwondo and learn how to box, because the first bad habit of taekwondo when I started boxing was my hands were down here.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
he was like, no, you can't do that. And I was like, but you taught me that. And he was like, okay, don't go on blaming me. We're going to correct this. So it was a huge adjustment to start keeping my hands up. But you know, I really fell in love with boxing. And so I'm at that point where I'm trying to correct my form. Yeah. So I started the advocacy when I started training again with my uncle when I got back. I found out a lot of my friends had gone through some sort of abuse when they first came to me and said, "Hey, I want to learn to train with you guys. I want to learn to kick. I want to learn to box. I want to learn the Dugas moves." So, like, I was like, okay, well,
that's right.
yeah. And so eventually, after we started training, and they voiced it out. They were like, "Hey, so this happened to me." So, you know, whether it be their boyfriends, their husbands, their family members, or it's just some random fool on the road, you know. I had one friend, sorry. I had one friend, she was just coming out of a bar, and some guy on a motorcycle came up to her and said, Mom, asan yung Poblacion Road? And she was like, oh, okay, you go straight. And then he like made her hipo, and then he fucking drove away on his bike.
Holy
Labo.
crap.
Labo eh. Parang ganun na, labo eh. Parang nagtitrip lang talaga eh. So she was telling me about it, and she was like, I need to punch something. I was like, all right, let's do it. So
Nice.
it's a good outlet, you know, it's a good outlet. She was so irritated. She's so irritated. I can remember her face, but those are the more common stories that I've heard, at least, you know, the random bystanders that didn't result in absolute violence, but either way, it's annoying for women, and so they need to be able to react. Diba?
Correct.
So,
Wow.
so that's why we started it, me and my friends.
And how
So
long
what's the
has the
name?
advocacy? How long has the advocacy been going?
I think I started it about 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, I feel like we lost the whole year yesterday, last year.
Yes. Yeah. Last year was a whole erased last year, so to speak.
Yeah.
And the name of the advocacy?
About 4 or 5 years. The name of the advocacy is called Modern Combative Solutions. The reason we named it that is because we just thought it would be an interesting name to be able to respond to the modern problems of women through combative training, and to provide solutions for these normal problems that we face every day.
Ilan na members nyo? Erica, how many members do you have in your group? Regular
Sorry,
members.
did I get cut?
No. I said,
You
I was
broke up a little
asking.
bit, but we actually caught it. It still caught it.
Yeah. No, I was just asking how many members do you have currently have right now?
In actively, we have about like maybe 10 members because of the whole pandemic and everything. But I think we have as close to 150 girls who have expressed they wanted to train since we started.
Are they mainly Filipinas, or are they also?
Actually, well, yeah, mainly majority of them are Filipinos. Some of them are women who have traveled into Manila, and we met each other, and they expressed they wanted to train.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
There-
So
Now, are you
Okay.
the one training them, or are you guys
No.
you have a group of people training them?
Yeah, so I do not train the girls. I'm just as much as a student as they are. But the advocacy really is to get the girls to train. And our trainers, we have a network of trainers. So we train for kickboxing under the guidance of, you know, some of the black belts of Bakbakan International. And for Calas Illustrissimo, for the bladed arts, we train with Coach Arnold.
Arnold, yeah.
Arnold
Yeah.
Narzo. Yes.
Narzo,
There
yeah.
Narzo.
being
Erica.
ano,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Hubert.
hindi, yung, ano yun, I think it was discussed before, parang being a, organization specifically for yung specific needs ng women, ng real self-defense, no? Is there a difference in your training requirements that is not being fulfilled by the normal, what do you call this, yung martial arts industry is providing?
I don't I don't I don't necessarily think that we offer something different
Mhm.
compared to other providers, but we stress the importance of fitness, because if you can't run for your life, then what? You're gonna stay and fight. Forget it. I pride
That's true.
myself on my sprints.
Yeah.
Just- just
Magaling nga
yeah.
pala form ni ano ah. Have you seen her box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magaling.
Yes.
Ganda ng form.
Bang.
By the way,
Bang.
Erica, si Paul is a really, really good striking teacher. He has
Muay Thai.
produced champions.
That's
Wala lang.
that's my teacher.
Galing yan.
Wow.
Magturo.
Boxing Muay Thai.
Boxing and Muay
Nice.
Thai.
Erica,
Yes.
pakita mo naman yung EDC mo. Let's compare EDCs.
Okay.
Hopefully she's by herself.
No need to show your gun.
No, show the gun.
Dang, talagang EDC lalabas oh.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Kayo, Paul, din. Ako, EDC ko. Wala naman ako EDC.
Ako, meron ako. Nako.
Meron ka ba?
Hindi, magugulat kayo. Talagang
Show and
very...
tell. Show and tell. Sige, Erica.
This is not a...
This is my small walker. I didn't bring anything down that was a little large. So I made
Nice.
Wow, nice.
I made the little scales on this, so it's kind of cute. So this is what I carry here into work. In my car, I have an itak under my
EI
Yeah,
talaga,
actually-
EI.
Actually, I have an
So,
itak underneath both of my
that's my
cars too.
usual carry.
Yeah.
So
And where
Oh,
and,
hindi ko
and where do
nakita.
you
Pakita ulit. I didn't see it.
Yeah, she has to speak eh. Kasi yung, yung Zoom, ano eh. Can you,
Yeah.
can you,
Yeah.
can you speak? Can you talk, Erica? Kasi nagko-close up
Me?
dun sa...
me,
Yeah, we
Oh.
can
Yeah.
see.
okay,
Explain.
got it.
Explain. So where's your carrier for that, and where do you carry it? Is it on you, or is it on
There.
or in your purse?
So this is a Bokker Tanto Dachi. It's a Burge brand with Edelman knives. I made the scales on it.
Nice.
Yeah, so I made the scales on it. So this is this is the thing that I'll keep on my body, but in my car, since I drive myself everywhere, I usually have at least one bolo with me.
Wala kang Erica, you don't have PTC. You don't have permit to carry.
Secret.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, you know.
Actually,
Oh, go ahead, Erica.
actually, I just started getting into sporting clays. So that's
Shotgun.
so I'm competing.
I don't wanna mess
I'm
with
already
her.
competing. It's so much fun. No, it's supposed to be fun. It's not meant to be like, well,
Yeah.
you can run, but you can't hide.
Start
If you're
running.
gonna run fast. Run fast.
Run fast.
And
At
zigzag,
saka
zigzag.
Those
Zigzag.
targets fly at like 80 miles per hour.
Wow.
So
Wow.
and we can shoot them. So you can run, you can try,
Yeah. So you gotta run 81 miles per hour or faster.
No, it's
Oh,
so
that's
much
awesome.
fun. It's so much fun.
Is it a pump action or is it yung two shot
No.
na
It's an
you break?
over-under. I used an over-under.
Binelli.
Yeah.
Did you get cut off?
Nope,
No,
she's good.
no. She's good.
Not one of those tactical guns.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Speaking of tactical, have your people also taken up tactical classes, security classes?
Only some who are in charge of like driving me, or if they have to go up with me in the mountains, the ones who are in charge to be part of my convoy, they have trained. But I'd probably feel safer if they like trained also for Kalis and for hand to hand, so it's something that lacks in the security industry here. It's not very thorough.
How about the girls? Have the girls ever trained personal protection? The members of your organization.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
How about the girls, the members of your organization? Have they trained personal protection as opposed to traditional martial arts?
Oh, well, not a lot of them have trained for that. The only exposure some of them have ever had was when you actually lecture them on personal protection awareness. That was the first time a lot of them had done it. So unlike me, my mom was she is a security practitioner here in the country.
EOD, right?
So
your mom's EOD.
Sorry?
EOD, your mom is EOD, right?
SPC.
Yeah.
SPC. So
SPC, okay.
yes, and she was also backup ng SWAT before here in Makati.
Nice.
She was part of the bomb squad.
Dang.
So did you learn all those?
Don't mess with her and her family.
So that was my exposure at a young age.
So
Like she was making me rappel down buildings at the age of 8.
Cute.
Nice.
Cute.
Erika, siguro ang daming natatakot lumigaw sa'yo, no?
For their own good.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Stig.
So I got a couple. This is kind of interesting to me because with these dialogues that we've had on women's self-defense and women protection. First of all, I'm a girl that I've got a house full of women, and basically, it's always a concern for me, a thought on how, making sure they're safe and whatnot. So I'm not really familiar with how it is there in Filipinas because I grew up somewhere else and mostly here in the US now. But are there any government programs, other advocacy alliances that, is a women's safety a big thing that's really kind of propagated there, or is that more kind of not separated? Or I mean, what's the landscape look like in that sense in the country?
When it comes to women's security and safety, even the laws are backwards. I hate to say it, but the laws are really backwards. There's nothing that protects us from that sort of thing. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, there is a law that says that if a woman is caught in bed with another man, a married woman is caught in bed with another man, her husband can actually shoot her and the guy and still plead insanity. But if it were the other way around, no repercussions. They wouldn't even think twice about putting that woman away for good.
Maybe that's a law that we should pursue and
lobby, no?
Yeah.
I may be mistaken, but what do you call this? You're actually correct because I used to work for a anti-crime organization, I think the one that's pushing to change the bill is who's this woman? Who's this senator? Lisa Ontiveros.
Ontiveros.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs to be that needs to be taken out. It's about time.
And
That's
it's
Ano yan?
ridiculous.
Antiquated law na yun eh.
And
maybe you
that's
could
just
also
one. And that's just one law too that we're referring to. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot
Well,
more.
I'm sure there's
I mean,
still
if
a lot.
Correct.
there's still a lot more, and
Yeah.
just the progression of the way current times are, that just protection of women and safety overall altogether. That's an interesting insight. But in programs wise, I mean, is there government programs around? I mean, I don't know if you know that, or maybe Henry or Hubert, especially being there in the Philippines.
there are. Go ahead, Henry.
I actually made a documentary. Yung
Of course you did. Videographer.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's a plug. If you guys haven't yet, go to their YouTube channel, Karateng Garahe on YouTube. A lot of great videos there. Yeah.
Yeah. Great looking guys.
Yes.
So anyway, so yung the one we interviewed, so Tagalog ako dahil I don't want to nosebleed. So the one we interviewed was a policewoman eh. So she decided to enter the force because when she was young, her father used to beat her mother a lot, and one day sabi nung father niya, and he was dead serious that he was going to kill her mom. So siya naman, she had to, para hindi siya mahuli nung dad niya. She had to cross yung palayan or something. Basta not the main road kasi doon siya maano. So covered siya ng mud, covered siya ng dirt. She got yung parang mga scratches along the way. Pagdating niya doon sa police precinct, tapos sinabi sa kanya yung problem. Yung reaction ng police parang ano lang sila,
Domestic.
a family domestic squabble eh. Wala kaming magagawa. They had in other words parang anong magagawa nila? Yung father niya used to beat her inside a sack. Pero maganda sa kanya, instead of being angry because she also loved her dad. She studied psychology, tried to find out bakit ganyan yung joined yung police force, tapos tama-tama nagkaroon na ng bagong women's desk because of political reasons. And ang maganda naman yung father niya because she kept interviewing yung father. And nag-turn yung father niya to a point na yung father na niya yung nagde-describe bakit niya ginagawa. So parang naging research subject yung father niya. At yung in the end nag-apologize yung father niya and ni-explain ng father niya kung ano yung tumatakbo sa utak niya. So it's also education. So if you think about it, how many years ago lang yon, di ba? Naka-women's desk. And up till now, even if there's a women's desk, up till now, yung culture ng Philippines, sad to say, meron pa siyang remnants of may good and bad side kasi tayo, di ba? May good and bad remnants. So anyway, yun yung problem ngayon sa Philippines.
May ako just to add yung question mo. Actually, ang shining beacon sa Philippines are organizations like Erika's, mga civil organizations. Without these civil organizations, wala talaga matatakbuhan. There's a sad statistics kasi we studied that. You'd be shocked. It's all across demographics. Well, may good news din, no? Like in Tanay, dun sa mga community workers, when you do social work kasi, you get to ask those questions, gender issues, stuff like that. Massive ang hidden dito ng victimization ng babae. More so ng ka-family members nila. Even in exclusive schools. You're gonna be shocked. Ang good news naman about that, kaya di ba lagi natin tinutulak yung lumang kultura, in IP communities, wala.
Yeah, tama.
Meron ngang sabi, something broke down in our value system why like in Tanay, there's a clear line. Ang dami ng ano doon, ang dami ng issues violence against women. Ang tinatakbuhan, may tumakbo ngayon dahil kasi ni-rape siya ng tiyo niya. Takbo ngayon siya doon sa kanlungan. Ang ginawa ngayon ng kanlungan, tinago yung babae. Ang nag-rape galing sa Camp Kapinpin, Sargento. Nagdating, isang truck, puno ng sundalo. Hinahanap yung babae. So salvage din yung babae. Matapang. May mga matatapang na babae dito. Matapang yung matandang babae na nung kanlungan. Kilala rin siya. Sabi niya, nagkamali ka sa ginagawa mo. Sabi, diniretsong ganun eh. So to make a long story short, hindi nila nakuha, di ba? Tapos nag-file sila ng case. Kung wala yung kanlungan, hindi magpo-prosper yung case na yun. Hindi magpo-prosper.
We saw that also with the, di ba mayroong servicemen na nag-rape din ata nung babae sa Pilipinas?
Lately.
Hindi yun.
Police
Ano yan? Ano yan? Anong tawag dito? Anong tawag doon? Recently lang ba yun? Hindi si loud yun. We're not talking about.
No, yung
American soldier.
checkpoint. Iba pa yun. Iba pa yun, yeah. Iba pa yun.
We're not talking about the transvestite.
Ang dami nga eh. Ang dami.
Yeah, that's the transvestite one that in the Marines, the Marine camp or.
Yeah, well, good na nakulong pero because of political reasons, pinauwi na yun. Pero actually, there are more than a recorded, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 or 4 figures high na mga cases ng American servicemen. Walang nakulong ni isa.
Walang nakulong. Yeah, that's the problem.
That's a different issue na naman, di ba?
That's a different issue. Yeah.
Pero anyway, before I go pala, yung sinasabi ko lang, di ba sa Tanay when I was asking them about the cases there. Pagdating sa IP, wala. 0.
They also have their own laws. ITs have their own laws also. So, you know, our national laws actually don't apply to them.
Hindi, tsaka yung yung culture nila mismo, if you go sa mountain province, yung culture nila, ang respect ng babae at tsaka lalaki, pantay talaga eh. Really malakas ang role ng babae.
Have you heard that documentary called Walang Rape sa Bundok? Yan.
Walang rape sa bundok. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah, so if you have time, watch that. You guys, they're US side. Yeah.
What is that? What? Okay, is that okay? We'll look that up.
We'll look that up.
That's
Henry will post it for us.
That's exactly about
assignment again.
It's exactly about what we.
Yeah.
It's exactly
Actually,
what
Henry,
we were talking about. Yung walang rape sa bundok. Yung bundok na yun is the Cordilleras.
Cordilleras.
Yeah, the mountain province.
Yeah. Ano yan? Ang magandang, ewan ko if we're segueing because I've been in a couple of parang traditional sa mountain province. I have a friend who's Kangkanay eh. What I noticed about them is bukod sa ang lakas ng community nila, yung mga rituals nila, pinapakita that there is always time for everything. May time for panliligaw, may sayo sila ng time panliligaw. May time uminom, lahat sila umiinom. Pero within the context of the community.
Yeah.
So yung nila is hindi sila, kasi parang tayo Judeo-Christian, alam mo yung mga galing sa Middle East na mga religion, mga sabik. Kala mo santo. Pero actually yung demonyo nakatago. So na-notice ko lang yon na it's really different when we talk about yung original pre-Christian natin eh. Like people keep, di ba, parang sa mga movies at saka sa literature ng mga Christians, ginagawa nilang mga satanic pagan religions, no? Without thinking na actually mas community-based pa actually yung mga old systems natin, mga old religions natin, mas mas totoo pa siya. It's like coming home pag nakita mo, kahit outsider ka, it's like coming home. Anyway, medyo nag-segue lang ako.
Practicality, Erika already mentioned it eh.
Yeah.
Yung kaya sabihin mo na tanggalin mo yung value, di ba? Simple lang dun eh. You do a crime against one, you do a crime against all.
Correct.
So, everyone will go after you. Saan ka pupulutin?
Yep.
Kangkungan ka.
Yeah.
Nawala si Erika.
Did we lose Erika?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll consider this a chop in the editing.
Yeah, yes sir.
Oh.
Yes sir.
Anthony,
Okay,
tapos na
Erika.
kami. Umalis na si Erika, wala kang closing.
Para well,
Yeah, we lost
habang wala pa
Erika.
siya. 'Di ba kanina sabi compare EDC? Ito hindi to paid advertisement. Bro, this one every week nagagamit ko. The best. Leatherman.
Yeah. Parang Swiss Army.
Actually, since you guys talk about EDC, hindi ko alam kasi nakalimutan ko sa kung nilagay yung baril ko. Hang on.
Nakalimutan ko saan.
Teka muna.
Sige, while you're,
Yeah.
I'll call Erika. Wala si Erika.
Sa bagay, baril, pwede mo gawin martilyo.
Edit na lang natin to. Sana ba yun si Erika?
Naghihina na yung signal niya kanina eh.
Okay, I found it.
Oh, mahina.
I was worried. I
Pambira.
was like, where the hell's my EDC?
Sige nga.
You know,
Right.
Yeah.
May filter ba rito sa sa Zoom?
But hindi naman bawal Bakit?
License ka naman
Teka lang.
Teka, I'm
Yes.
calling Erika.
Nice.
While
Ano yan?
Ako na.
Glock 17? Glock 17?
Sayang pagka-Amerikano ko, it's like, we're very professional kasi executive level eh. Sabi ko, shit, kailangan
Glock 17,
mag-suit.
Wala yung
19.
wala yung costume
Glock
eh.
19.
Di ba yung costume mo?
Yeah.
Bagsak
Anthony,
na lang
kahit
pala
na
si
pinapawisan,
Bukana
sige,
siya
kasi executive meeting to eh.
How many dollars ngayon yan, bro? How many dollars?
Nasa 500 plus. But actually, now baka nasa 600 na.
Can you show it
Mura
again?
pa rin, bro. Shit, laking mura. Nice.
Oh, I'm pointing it to you guys.
Ano, naka-bull? Pare, ano yan? Bull barrel na yan. Binul barrel mo?
Yeah.
Okay. So yung 600, pero hindi yung all the wells and bases, ano niyan, magkano inabot?
Actually, ginawan ko siya ng stipple. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, I can see.
Say itong dito. So pag humawak ako ng baril dito, pag nakaganon ako dito, may hindi siya dudulas.
Nadudulas.
So dito, hindi siya dudulas.
Ini-staple
ko siya. Tapos ano siya? Nag-aral din ako kung paano ayusin yung guard. See how uka-uka siya.
Okay.
Ini-staple ko din siya.
Ayan, I think meron bang gusto mong pa-accept?
Ano sabi?
She's restarting the internet. Oh, that's okay. Tapos, ang katabi nito...
Ano na yung tinanong niyo sa kanya?
What was that?
Pakita mo kay Erika, matitripan niya. Mahilig sa baril si Erika.
Tapos... Ito yung everyday carry ko.
Pusang ina. Pero anong
ito akin
carry mo yan? Anong
ayan. Ito sa akin. Ito sa akin. Ayan. Yan lang.
Ito yung
pare, yung akin hindi ko mapakita. Show Erika your gun, man. Show Erika your gun, man.
Ito yung female version kasi mas maliit siya.
Hindi, pero anong batas sa inyo? Anong batas sa inyo? Is that allowed?
Yeah, 3 inches.
3 inch,
okay.
yeah.
Not longer.
Show your gun, pare.
Ito yung female.
Show your Glock. Show your Glock, man.
Ito yung male. Tignan mo yung male. Carabao.
Okay.
Teka
mas
lang.
malaki siya.
Ready for our second executive meeting.
Nako, nasinimulan mo na yan. Pag nakita ni Erika, lalabas na niya lahat ng blades niya.
Meron dito. Meron dito.
So, kita mo yung male version. Ito yung female version.
Yeah.
Maliit siya. So,
show your Glock, man.
You notice it looks like
but
this?
It looks like a gun. I mean, when
it looks like
Florida.
It's a gun thing. So, I don't know if Erika's already in hang on.
Here,
She's
she's
in.
here.
She's in.
Oh,
Yeah.
she did. Okay.
Ah.
So, kaya namin pinagawa kay Pabo to, because Pabo is a very well-known knife maker in the whole world. He's
Yes.
like top 10.
Yes.
Oh, you know Pabo,
Yeah.
Eric?
Yeah. I have 2 of his pieces too.
Oh my God, we're gonna get along.
Dang.
I actually went. He taught me how to make knives.
Nice.
I'm actually
Nice.
a student of him, but I'm not good at it kasi wala siya dito. But he's the one who designed this and made it.
Yeah, I saw the logo, so I knew right away. I
Oh,
think
you
it
right
looked
away?
like
Oh my, yeah.
Dang, she knows her stuff. Executive, yes, executive knows the details on that.
Ako naman, can I show my EDC? I'll show
forever.
my EDC. Ito yung EDC ko. Killer looks.
Patay lahat dyan.
Tayo dyan.
Pinakita mo sa mundo yan, nako.
Ito yung setup inside the waistband. Appendix carry.
Ano yan,
And then
T-Rex?
yung T-Rex. Tapos yung
nice.
knife, depending on what I'm wearing, nakaganto siya. Ganyan ang setup.
Nice.
So pag nag-draw ko ng gun, is the same draw ng knife.
Huwag ka lang magkamali, pare.
Hindi, magkahiwalay naman eh. Ito kasi nasa
Pinansaksak
Ito kasi
yung
nasa
barrel.
appendix. Ito nasa left side. So pag sinuot ko siya, nandito siya, nandito yung isa.
Tama.
Nice.
So pag nag-draw ko ng knife, dito pa rin yung bungo. Ganun pa din.
Bro, you never thought of, by the way, di ba
I-
since galing ka sa service, you never thought of applying sa sheriff service? Sa sheriff?
Sino? Ako?
Ikaw? Oh, hindi mo naisip mag-sheriff?
Mas delikado actually to go to the sheriff. It's worse than being a soldier. Kasi your daily, when you go out, you're in, you're trying to protect yourself on a daily basis. Ang brother ko actually is a cop. He's a Chicago cop.
Okay.
Chicago.
So
Wow.
Grabe
So,
yun, ha? Pare, Chicago.
Grabe.
Also with my EDC, I also have the Tech 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
So actually, I wanted to ask you.
Thank you. Matching, no? Matching.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna get along.
Kasi I actually placed this on my right pocket where the gun is. So if somebody wants to grab my gun, then I go for this. So I can hit the arm or the hand that's gonna take my gun away.
Me kasi, sanay ako. My pen, unless I'm writing, it's on my left.
Left top pocket.
Why are you left-handed? What's the logic?
When we train for KI and we do espada y daga or the knife is always on my left.
Okay.
So this one is on the other side. Back
Okay.
up.
Back up. Kasi
Yeah.
primary, that's right.
Pero
Yep,
talo
that's
ka ni Erika kasi si Erika bawat EDC color coordinated sa damit yan.
Wala.
Ang dami. May cabinet. Meron siya walk-in cabinet. Oh, may walk-in cabinet siya na pari weapons.
Kaya sandali, hindi na video yun eh. Erika,
Hindi pinapakita
show it
si
again.
Erika.
Magsalita
Let's see
ka
what
dahil
she's
kasi yung camera magfo-focus sa nagsalita. Pakita mo, magsalita
Yung
ka.
yung EDC ko.
Yeah, color code. Yeah.
Ito, para kita nyo. Diba?
Dang!
Oh, nice.
Ano yan? She's gonna start her own line and brand eh.
Okay,
Pero,
yan.
Erika, can you
You need an edge weapon for each outfit.
Yeah.
Max.
Speaking
Combat
of
fashion for everyone.
Combat fashion.
Maganda yun ah. Erika, uy,
What good is
magandang
being
knife.
able to fight good if you don't look good?
Yeah, that's right.
Pero magandang ano yun ah. Magandang brand name yun ah, Erika.
If you
Diba?
can't perform, just perform.
Performs.
hit it. I hit it.
Ay, Erika,
Man.
yung ano ba, yung giveaway mo? Kasi Erika does activities for the group niya. Di ba?
Yeah.
Dahil
Oh,
Zoom. I saw your challenge, yung ano, yung group, yung ano, yung
Oh,
jump
yeah.
rope.
Yeah.
Is
The
that
jump
your
rope.
product? Is that your product?
No. One of the girls owns the brand. That's her
Okay.
brand. And
Sige,
so
let's promote it.
we basically we help each other, we cross promote. And so if she feels like giving something away, then we band together and we see how we can get the girls to get off their asses.
Nice.
Ganun, diba?
Erika, I formally challenge you. Skip rope, pero
Oh.
ako, hindi ako magaling mag-skip rope. Ayan, si June Paul will challenge you. Skip rope,
oh.
madamihan.
But the,
Skip rope.
Actually, you
Ano?
know what? I used to really despise it. But because it's really helping with my footwork, it's the only reason talaga I started getting into it.
Teka, it's kind of cutting off a little bit.
It's
So it's frozen now.
yung ano, it's ano, yung line niya.
Yeah, I think we lost her again.
Yeah.
Bro, yung skip rope ba, yung ako, I don't know if I'm
I mean, actually, I
flat-footed.
can't
pero
believe she knows
nahihirapan ako.
Pabu. She's the first
Ayan, she's
one
back.
Sorry, what's
that I
that?
talked to that knows Pabu. Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, you're the first. I keep selling Pabu and I go, nobody knows him. You're the first one who like, I know him. I'm like, yeah.
Pabus?
Di
Of
ba?
course. I don't know. If you like your knives and if you know the heritage makers, then you would know who the fuck doesn't know Pablo? Like I don't understand.
Damn,
Yes.
we went from executive, naka-jacket ako, executive, now my F-bomb. I was like,
Ang
good,
galing ko na nga
okay,
to.
pwede na makarelax dito.
Yeah.
Yan,
Oh,
yan.
I show you, Erika.
Teka, hindi kasi sa'yo sinabi ni
Tagal na rin
Erika,
ang
ba't
jacket.
alam niya? Bro, hindi sa'yo,
Okay.
Yan.
hindi kasi sinasabi sa'yo ni Erika bakit alam niya. Kasi, sino ba nagturo kay Pablo ng knife making? Erika!
Pero, Erika,
Just to
magkami
show you.
Erika,
That's made up.
Erika, magkaminan tayo. This is a safe circle. No
Ito
judgment here.
ito
Ilan
yung
ang
ginawa ko,
kutsilyo
yung
mo?
tinuruan niya ako.
Ano,
My
ano?
first
Ano?
knife I made with him.
Nice.
Sorry?
Ito
Hindi,
yung
Erika,
unang knife na ginawa ko while he's teaching me.
Nice.
Where? Let me
In
see.
Liluan,
I see
Cebu.
it there.
In
Okay.
Liluan.
So the one that I have is similar to that, except
Actually,
the handle is different. That's like that's a shape eh. That's a shape that he likes to ano.
actually, he made me design my own thing. Ikaw bahala ka. So actually, on the beginning, he made me do this first. If you notice, it's still sharp. It's still good.
Yeah.
But basic design, so I have an idea how to make a knife. And
You
then
have
he
a
goes,
forge
Yeah.
pen?
the end
Pare, you
product
have a
will
forge?
be that one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
do you have a forge, pare? You have a forge?
No,
How do you do your heat treatment?
heat
Yung
treatment,
pagsubo.
he taught me by oil.
Oil, yeah, but
oil
what do
naman
you
madalas.
use to heat? What do you use to heat it?
Actually, he wants to show me water. Kaso complicated ang water. So he said, let's not do water. We don't have time.
No,
So he
but where
showed
do
me
you
Yeah.
heat your blades?
Pwede ka naman
You don't
gumawa.
have a kiln or ano?
Pwede ka gumawa
Saan
ng
mo
kiln.
iniinit?
Hindi. Yung
Nakatawan
reshaping,
niya.
kasi if you're gonna learn how to forge from scratch, meron na akong dalang metal. All I do is have to grind them.
And then how do you
Kailangan
temper?
Yeah, hindi ko na kailangan mag-ano. Yung
Hindi mo na
tempering lang
kailangan
ako.
temper? Okay.
Yeah.
Shit,
Temper mo
nakaka-audit
din yan.
Shortcut, kasi limited time kami.
Yeah.
Then,
Okay.
in return, pinakita namin kay Pabo how to make kydex.
Yun.
Because Pabo doesn't know how to do kydex. He knows how to do leather.
Yes. Yes.
Traditional.
Eh, ang
Oh,
problema, sabi ko kay Pabo, I'm in Florida, magra-rust yung knife because if it's in leather.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
sabi
maybe
ko,
we should-
nagpaturo din ako how to shape it. Kasi hindi siya marunong ng kydex. Nung natuto siya ng kydex, sabi niya, mas madali pala yan lang ang gagawin ko.
Ako
We
naman.
should do an episode sa mga bladesmith, ha?
Yeah,
the only thing I would say that needs to change with your design, though, Kuya Paul, the next time you guys do something, it has to be fashionably trendy. Gotta put some color para with each
it has
outfit.
to be like Erika. Di ba? O ngayon, pakita ko yun sa akin. EDC. Ako din nag-forge nito. Self-taught ako. Okay? Medyo just criticize it. Feeling ko may mali akong ginawa eh. Ito yung una akong ginawa. I tried. Sabi ko parang mali ah. So, mali pa din eh. Yung huling attempt ko.
Erika,
Yeah.
this is a safe space. Walang judgment dito. Aminin mo, ilan ang blades mo?
Dami.
Dang, napaisip.
Ay.
90.
Wow.
Dang.
Hello, my name is Erika and I'm a blade addict.
So, ang tanong,
Addict
is it
a strong word.
Who's naka-display o nakatago
Who has
lahat?
more, you or Doors? Who has more, you or
I think Doran.
Bro, you should meet our friend si Doran.
Yeah.
We always like to go to his place. Putsa pag uy, may bago na naman.
At saka I think si Doran hindi lang Philippine blades, di ba? Blades.
Ay, hindi lang. Meron siya katana.
Yes,
Yung
Japanese
authentic, ah.
plays as well. Yeah.
Actually, I have a lot of Pabu blades.
Yeah.
Pinakyaw ko the last time I met him. I bought almost everything. June knows that. June saw them.
Yep.
Bakit ba siya kilala?
Show and tell again.
Yeah.
Sorry dahil you guys keep talking about him Bakit siya kilala?
He's a very good knife maker. Very.
Yeah, but what's his pedigree? I mean, where did he learn? Traditional ba siya na sa Pinas or
actually, history-wise on blades, he knows a lot. He's the one who told me about the history of Balisong. Actually, his forte is Balisong.
FMAR din siya. FMAR.
No.
Batangas.
He's a shooter.
Ang galing
Actually, nung nagpunta kami sa kanila, I can't say this on the show.
So alam mo yung
alam
mo yung Balisong so yung Balisong alam mo galing doon sa Sten, di ba? Sa Italia. Yung footer ba tawag doon?
Nice.
Actually, when I told him I do FMA, he goes, "Oh, that's good because a gun needs to have a knife. They're together every time." That's what he said.
Nice.
How about that yung in-interview natin sa sino yan sa Paete, pero siya naman hindi knife, no? Sa kanya itak. What's his name? Ang ganda nung niya, scabbard. Sino yan? Si Arnel ba? Arnel ba yan?
Si Arnel. Tsaka masarap yung kanyang kutsinta.
So Erika, question for you. When you teach the women, are they all mostly physical? Meron ba kayong avenue for psychological since they've been attacked? Or paano yung program niyo? How does your program work?
Since I don't teach the women, I train with them. So we just have other people who specialize in those things. So like they need to talk to a psychologist or whatever. We have someone who we can refer them to. Yeah. And man, I can barely manage my own issues. So, I will refer them to someone who can help them manage.
Are most of the instructors or the one that helps the program, are they volunteers or you have a network of people already that they can go anytime? How did it work? Talk about how does
especially now we're more strict about the schedule. So yeah, like especially now we're more strict about the scheduling. But before we used to have a specific day that the trainer is free to train. So like for example, if they want to train for the bladed arts with Coach Arnold for Callus Illustrissimo, then we would have a specific day that would be Wednesdays and Saturdays, let's say. If we want to do for kickboxing, then we would either plan it for the same day or another day. So like now our kickboxing is on Thursdays, and then on Monday it's self-study. So
Self-study.
yeah, so our coaches will come on Thursdays. On Mondays, we are among ourselves and we drill basically our homework. And so all the fitness stuff, we do that on your own time. So I expect everybody to put in a certain amount of time to get fit. So that's one of the things that I personally can help the girls with. So we have resources for that too. My sister owns a gym in Mandaluyong, or if they just want to work on their stamina, their cardio, some strength, like basic stuff, we can help them.
Is it,
what's the
is it
name
a
of the
martial
gym
arts
in
gym?
Mandaluyong?
Is it a martial arts gym, or is it a weightlifting
it's
gym?
not.
Or is Erika, it's breaking up. It's breaking up a little bit. Repeat that again.
It's a calisthenics gym. It's called Sparta PH.
Nice name. Nice brand.
Sparta Philippines.
PH. Ganda.
I used to go
my
to
sister has
Mandaluyong to
programs for strength, and then she also has programs for endurance. Mostly they use their body weight for a lot of the programs. It stops a lot of people from getting injured,
yeah, nice.
What's your sister certified in? Is she certified in any what do you call this program?
Sorry.
What's your sister certified in? Is she certified in any program, conditioning program?
Sorry, it's breaking up.
Yeah, it was choppy.
No, I was asking if your sister herself is also a trainer of some sort. Is she certified in any what do you call this specialized training program?
No, she's not a trainer. So all the trainers there are certified trainers. They're the ones who come up with the program. So my sister, actually, she originally started that facility to be an indoor football field, a training field. And then they branched out into calisthenics. So somebody else handles the calisthenics wing. She handles more of the football.
You have futsal? Do you have futsal?
Yes. Well,
nice.
it's a turf field. So it's a turf field.
So okay, Erika, I got questions. I want to circle back with the advocacy. If people would wanted to kind of join the advocacy or connect, how do people connect with you or the advocacy altogether?
Since we're a pretty close-knit group, we don't really advertise and we don't really
promote.
We're very careful about who we include in the training program, because mamaya may manghahamon dyan. We don't want that.
Training biglang application agad.
My coaches are my coaches are very ano pa naman. If you make them hamon, sige. And then I'm just like, no, please. Please don't do that. So yeah. But if they want to reach me, if they really want to train, they can always reach me through my Instagram, which is Rixfern on Instagram. That's my handle, Rixfern, RIXFERN. They can reach me there.
Nag-BJJ din kayo, no? You practice.
Sorry?
Nag-BJJ din kayo, right? You also practice.
We have someone who used to teach us BJJ. Right now, it's not the safest sport to be engaging in. So that program is on hold. And besides, the girl is going through pregnancy right now. So she ain't doing no BJJ at the moment.
Yeah. Kawawa nga. Kawawang industry.
Bagsakang ano.
But you're
Yeah.
doing a good thing for the community. So that's the reason why we brought you in the show. Kasi nung when I watched the Karateng Garahe episode, I was
Ano yung
impressed
title?
already.
Ano yung title? Maganda yung ano yung title?
One
One tough cookie.
Yeah, she's a one-top cookie.
Yeah.
One tough cookie.
By her own, she's really humble. She's but if you take a look at her form and the way she she plays, magaling siya. Ang inaano ko na nga sa kanya, start banging, man.
Ganda ng shift. Ang ganda ng timing ng shift.
Ganda ng form. Ganda ng form.
Ganda ng form.
Diba?
Pero Erika, can you describe, di ba, medyo nag-iba when you started banging a little bit, di ba? All of a sudden, medyo nakokontrol mo na yung opponent mo, no? Can you tell us your experience?
Wala.
Sorry.
Wala. Yeah. Hindi, can you tell us your experience?
Yeah,
Kasi
sorry. I
dati
think
pa
it's
namin-
hanging a little bit.
Yeah. Kasi we keep seeing you, yung galing ng form mo eh. Ang ganda ng timing mo, ang ganda ng form, and then all of a sudden, yung isang video mo, you started banging na. May difference ba? Di ba? There's a slight difference when it's just slap boxing, and there's a difference already when you're starting to bang a little bit, di ba? Parang your timing is different, you get to know to, and then you get to use yung reaction ng tao when you start banging with your...
Tanungin mo sa kanya.
Yeah, yun ang tinatanong ko. Yun ang tinatanong ko as experience.
What's the
Is there
difference?
Actually, well, I'll tell you the truth about what happened in that video. So the during the lockdown, I really had no one to train with. So I really started studying my own form and fixing it. I was really on form correction mode since I could do that by myself.
Yeah.
And so after 1 year of lockdown training by myself, I finally, decided to spar with my sparring buddy, Chris. And he's always a little too nice sometimes. And when I tell him to go harder, he gets upset.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't want to go hard. But something inside him, it does in our conversations. I've noticed that he doesn't want to hit me as hard as I would like him to. So, the only way for me to get him to either hit me back or whatever is if I hit him harder.
Tama. Tama.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
So,
Ay, naghahang.
no, but that was also my problem because I hadn't trained for so long. I lost the control. I was only throwing at only one power, and so now I'm trying to tone it down a bit because then now I can't really spar with the girls because I have a hard time controlling it na,
Okay.
I'll end up winding myself if I'm throwing at like 80 or 90 all the time. So it's something I'm working.
Kaso be careful with that, Erika. Kasi
So
you're
that's
doing
where I'm at
self-defense.
now with my training. So I'm basically working backwards again to.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying, just be careful to lose
Sorry?
that edge. Try not to lose the edge of you hitting hard. Kasi you're learning self-defense.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to go in the mode wherein you're now
Correct.
trying to punch light because of the other people. Kasi pag nasanay ka rin,
Yes.
pag nasanay ka rin ng light, then next thing you know, on an attack, that's what's gonna come out.
Correct.
Her problem nga is that actually also kilala rin namin si Chris eh. I mentioned to Chris eh. Anong tawag dito? Ang problem niya, yung available na sparring partner niya is too nice on her.
Si
di ba
Anthony,
tayo
volunteer natin si Anthony. He said Anthony.
Hindi, pero di ba yung
kahit upakan mo yun, okay lang, Erika.
Okay
what
lang.
she needs,
Anthony. Oh,
what she
meron
needs
ka ng
right now kasi
first match.
Ka-level
opinion
niya.
lang naman namin lahat and I think she recognizes it eh. Kasi
Yeah,
first I was telling her yung pala she was just being kind, not mentioning it eh. At her level kasi, take a look at her form, her timing. At her level, kailangan yung mga kalaro niya, meron siyang sparring mates na mga
Ka-level,
ano
ka-ano
yung
niya
yung
din.
yung
Ka-level.
kaganon niya, 'di ba?
Yeah,
Yung
yeah.
'di ba sa atin is parang baliktad eh. If I get hit, sa atin, 'di ba? Sa mga ano, if I get hit, I say sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not ready eh. 'Di ba ganun 'yan, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So anong tawag dito? She's at that level na ngayon that she needs. Yun nga term namin eh. She needs to bang.
He's a
Yeah.
bang.
Pero wala nga siyang ka-level. So yung mga ka-level niya na iba, katulad nyo, ng problema niya, ano ang tawag dito? She can train yung mga baguhan ng mga babae. She can train them. She has to, di ba yung she has to calibrate her strength. Pero for her own, honestly, I feel happy that she's mentioning it eh. Nasa level na siya na she's training herself eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ganun yan, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung when you start to teach yourself, but
Yeah.
she needs
Yeah.
somebody that will allow her to unleash.
Yeah, kasi ang goal,
Yun ang kailangan eh. Oh,
Yeah.
someone that can allow her to unload.
Erika, how
Yes.
often do you train? How often do you
Tama,
train?
diba?
I will train twice a week, but during lockdown, before it was every day we were working again. So when we were all work from home, I was training every day.
Wow.
Kasi ang balak kasi talaga namin, Erika, this is all pretense eh. Ang balak talaga namin is to manage you. We get 30%. We'll start muna sa 1FC.
We'll get you
Yeah?
fights.
No,
We'll get you
we'll
fights.
start first with boxing. Pagka nag-champion ka na sa ilang weight categories, we go to MMA.
MMA. Actually,
Yeah.
actually,
Good.
June's daughter, we trained her. I mean, she is
Yeah.
very good too. And I right off the bat when her daughter hit the pad, and I went look at June. I go, your daughter can be a fighter.
Yeah, we were gearing for a fight.
We're getting
Last year.
3 months training, ready to fight Thai boxing, full contact.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Kaso nag-quit si June eh. June quit.
Nice.
Erika,
So,
did your background in what do you call this as an athlete sa soccer, kasi hindi rin joke ang training ng soccer Did your background in soccer help you in your training in what do you call this, self-defense and martial arts?
No. I don't think.
Kaya na, di ba?
I'm gonna be
Kaya-
honest. No.
So the
But
discipline did not translate.
No, the discipline did not translate, but my martial arts helped me in my football. So parang ganon.
Nice.
How so?
Dugas, yun pang tira sa mga kalaban.
Dito.
How so?
Teka lang, nawala yata.
Erika, how so? Sorry.
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't
Yes.
help.
So, one of the reasons I also stopped playing football was because I was already being dubbed red card.
Sabi ko na nga ba, I knew it.
Sabi na nga ba
I
eh.
knew it.
Comes out.
Hello, Erika. Pwede pala, bukod pala, paano ba yung career path natin? Una, fights, tapos pag medyo kilala ka na, gawa na tayo Hollywood movie.
Ay,
Diba?
no joke, you can.
Pwede si Erika. Pwede si Erika.
Yeah, pero ang galing din, no? Like, segueing, no? Yung, what do you call this? Yung fight choreography is a totally different animal.
It is. You know, I tried. I was invited once by Sunny Season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was invited by him
Okay.
to be in a show with Sina. What's her name? Poon Reyes and Bianca Umali, and I forgot their names. So, it's entirely it's messing up my FMA. I feel like the
Yeah.
natural instinct to hit to hit, you have to hold back.
To hold back.
And you have to
yeah.
exaggerate. Yeah, and you have to exaggerate your movements, which I'm not used to. So yeah, so it just wasn't in line with what I wanted to achieve with my FMA, I guess. And so I begged off after the first day.
Kasi see, which do you enjoy more? What do you call this? Sparring, with weapons, FMA, or boxing, or is it both? Which gives you the most pleasure?
I don't know, actually. I
Is it
feel like
boxing?
I enjoy I feel like I enjoy sparring more with Callus because I don't get hit.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt that much to get hit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like to get hit. So that's why my Duran, since my uncle Tito Patrick left, he had endorsed me to Duran. Duran is
Yes.
the other black belt of Master
Yeah.
Tuper,
Yeah.
who gave Tito Pat his black belt. He was basically, Tito Pat's sponsor in Bakbakan.
Yeah.
Mas senior si
Kaya,
Duran. So,
kaya nagsasagasa ka din.
Yeah.
yeah. So I learned some of the basics of Sagasa with Tito Pat. But Tito Pat only, he was really good at kickboxing compared to the Sagasa part. So eventually he kind of endorsed me to Doors for that talaga.
Maganda yung Sagasa,
So
huwag mo kalimutan yun. Ang ano lang sa mga ganun styles, yung mga traditional styles, it'll take time to to be able to use it. But once you get it,
Correct.
that's maganda yung Sagasa, I'm telling you.
Correct. So I spend a lot of time on that's part of what I drill by myself. That's my homework. So he'll teach me what it looks like. I do it by myself at home until my legs hurt, and then
If you don't mind, I'm going to. If you don't mind, no, I'm not teaching you form kasi you have teachers for form. I'm going to teach you certain what do you call this? Parang palakas, we call it palakas. So that your hits become stronger, your strangles become stronger. Your muscle won't grow, pero yung mga kalitiran mo, when you hit something, it goes inside. I'll teach you that.
So when you
Maganda
spar,
form mo
when you spar, is it more boxing or kickboxing? Or Thai boxing?
Right now they're keeping us at boxing, so that's what we're working on. But when we do body targeting, which is no head, just body hits, may sipa yun. I guess that's for our own safety.
You do knees?
I guess.
Nagtutuhod kayo at saka elbows? Okay.
Elbows is dangerous.
They do. We do it.
Bukas agad ng ulo yan.
We do it to drill it on the bag, on pad.
Yeah.
But not sa spar. We'll do it sa padding, we'll do it sa bag, but we won't do it sa...
Yeah.
Erika, you were young, pero, di ba, naabutan ba sila Tuper? Did you see their original bakbakan training? Wala.
Sorry, ulit.
You were still young, but were you able to watch the original bakbakan training nila Dors, nila Patrick, nila Tuper?
No, I never met Master Tuper, actually. The one who I met was Bruce, his son, when we were in America. My son, Bruce, actually.
But you've never seen the old style bakbakan sparring?
I have only on videos.
Yeah. That was intense. It's a really good self-defense style. Yung bakbakan.
Yes.
Very good.
It is. I could get it. That would be a great way to learn, but it's not very sustainable. I feel like for me, I'm like 120 pounds now. Those guys are like 200 pounds.
Si Lance, gaano kabigat si Lance?
Yung style nila is a hard style na when you grow old. That's my opinion. Maraming injury kalalabasan.
Yeah.
Pero ang
Yeah.
ganda yung training. Anyway.
It's like Muay Thai actually. Yung injury, also ako lang opinion ko because of recent findings, I don't believe in headgear anymore. More damage to the brain.
Talaga? I didn't know that.
Oo. Kasi,
Kasi yung yung concussion.
yeah, yung caution
Ako, I advocate headgears just because of targets. Para hindi mo targetin yung mata, yung ilong. I just use my headgear as targets. So yung on top of yung logo rin kung may logo man yung headgear, and then the side where they're protected.
Problema, nasa doon sa hard part, suntukin.
So para, I don't break a nose, I don't give a black eye. So I made them wear headgear.
Pero alam mo, yung nagugustuhan ko sa Muay Thai whenever I watch, at saka I think sa boxing, meron silang level of hilamos. Alam mo yung just the right amount of bang. Kasi before, when I was young, todo eh. Kahit sabihin mo sa akin, kahit point, todo pa din eh. Sabi ko ba, may way pala matuto na just the right amount of bang. Galing.
Hindi kasi ang problema naman kasi doon sa yung puro todo, lalo na kung athletic ka, it's really good. Tapos may timing ka. Ang problema, yung nuances ng defense, yung Mayweather style, kung todo ka laging todo, hindi mo makukuha yan. Ang kailangan masanay ka all the way yung mind mo, relax.
Actually, kung first fight mo, kunyari, let's say Erika's gonna be her first fight in the ring, and she has the stamina, ang recommended ko, just attack. Don't stop.
So first,
just to get the cobwebs off.
Gas is what's gonna make you win.
Yeah.
Kasi unang fight. Then the second fight, you strategize. Kasi na-experience na yung how be in the ring. Kasi in reality, let's say, yung endurance mo, yung akala mo, dami mong gas, then you go up in the ring, half of that gas is gone.
Yeah.
Sobrang technical.
So management na. Susunod is energy management.
Energy. Yung unang fight, let her go. Doon niya marirealize na akala niya, kunyari, pinapatakbo mo siya ng 3 miles, di ba? Tatamad-tamad siya. She just running 1 mile only. Ngayon, pag taakyat niya ng ring sa first fight, marirealize niya, nako, wala pang 3 minutes, ubus na yung lakas ko, nangihina na ako.
Malay mo ba kung Rocky siya na all the way, di ba?
No, I haven't seen anybody like that.
Paul, let me ask you this, kasi nakita ko ganong specific ang training ng professional fighting. In fact, di ba, I'm sure you know this na may general way, pero actually, nagsi-zero income mismo dun sa tao yung tinitrain mo, di ba? Let me now ask you this. Anong difference naman ng training for like traditional self-defense? Yung talagang martial arts as opposed to being a fighter sa ring. What is the difference between the training methodology that you have to adopt?
You need to hit the guy in 3 shots, he better be down.
Okay. Tama.
So that means, same thing, todo lahat.
Todo na relaxed, of course. That's what.
Yes, but todo lahat.
Hindi ka gigil.
Yes. Now, when you do this, you have to tell the person that you're teaching targets. So now, kailangan nilang tamaan yung targets, almost like shooting.
Yeah.
Hindi kailangan asintado ka. Pag sinabi kong tirahin mo yung letter A, sa A dapat pupunta.
Nice.
Alam mo tama yun, no? Kasi when I started out, hindi naman ako nag-pro, pero sa suntukan, di ba? Pag nagsusuntukan ka sa start, todo ka lang todo, di ba? Pero actually, you're wasting your punches minsan, eh. You're hitting the wrong target. Parang napapagod ka. Yung pala, pumili ka lang, bang! Babaksa ka yun.
Pumili ka lang ng target.
Ako, ang dadagdag ko lang dyan, Erika, pag-aralan niyo yung art of sucker punching. Hindi, ako, seryoso ako doon. Kasi na-analyze ko, alam mo ang Shotokan, people think ng Shotokan itself naging sport na kasi. Pero kung gagawin mo siyang combative, people don't understand yung sinasabi, there's no first strike in karate. that's a moral injunction. Ibig sabihin, huwag ka maghanap ng away. Pero ang training
Yeah.
ng Shotokan talaga is for sucker punching and counter sucker punching. Kasi ang Shotokan walang tell eh. Alam mo, yung iba akala nila, nakakalaro kasi nila yung mga McDojong Shotokan eh. Wait until they spar a Japanese. Kasi yung reverse punch ng Shotokan, kahit sabihin mo, I can see a reverse punch a mile away. Why aren't they covering their head? O sige, the Shotokan stylist, the Japanese will tell you, I'm going to punch you on the face now. You cannot stop it. Kasi walang tell eh. Walang tell eh. Parang boom, biglang nandun na lang. So anyway, sorry, going back to self-defense. Yun nga, yung hitting hard.
Yeah.
Hitting hard right away. Tapos, anong tawag dito yung...
Well, wait. Let
Go ahead.
me rephrase that. Not hitting hard. The hit has to count. Kasi you can hit hard. Tapos hindi naman walang nangyari dun sa sinuntok mo. Bali, wala.
Sabay shot
Nabali
placement.
pa yung kamay mo.
Strategic hitting.
Placement, pare. Shot placement.
Kailangan
saktan mo.
tatlo dapat. If your opponent can't see, he can't fight. If the person can't breathe, he can't fight.
Correct.
If the person can't
I agree.
stand, he can't fight. So yung tatlong yun ang kailangan mong tirahin. So if you hit the eye,
Correct.
he can't see, he's done.
Yeah.
You hit the throat, he can't breathe, tapos na. You break his ankle, he can't stand, he can't chase you to attack you, fight is over.
What if you hit his heart?
Broken heart ang abot.
Patay ka!
Patay ka.
May take home ka.
Erika, from your, I'm pretty sure, as humble as you are, di ba? Sabi mo you don't. But I'm pretty sure you've been thinking about this from the perspective of babae. Why am I saying this? I stopped teaching self-defense for women because I suddenly realized, teka lang, iba yung, we're all equal, pero iba yung reality niya, iba yung reality ko eh. Diba? Tapos, yung mga nag-aaral ng self-defense, you're not sure naman if they're committed to really take on a long program. So let me ask you your thoughts on self-defense. What are your thoughts on self-defense?
Kung ikaw magtuturo sa babae.
Kung ikaw magtuturo.
So basically, like what I would advise if I were the one who was asked by another girl, for example, I wouldn't tell them to use their fist to strike, for example. My strikes are usually open hand for self-defense or kalmot talaga. Eye gouges. I keep some nails. I keep a healthy amount of nails on my hand. so that, you know,
arsenic.
Yes. And so it's an entirely different so I feel like it's an entirely different approach, and it's a good thing that I learned the self-defense first before the actual kickboxing and, you know, the other stuff that I'm working on now. I guess what I'm trying to say is let's take my situation, for example. My reaction would be entirely different now to what my reaction would have been like before, because now I might react with boxing instead of open hand. I may strike with my fist closed instead of going for the eyes. I'm not sure because I have not been in that position. At least not recently. Diba? And it's not like I can drill that with my very nice sparring partner, si Chris.
So the people that comes into your advocacy, you know, that kind of, you know, looks for self-defense. What's kind of the route that you guys take them? You guys, I mean, obviously some physical health, but what about training and, you know, how does that look like?
So basically, first they need to get the doctor's approval to make sure that they're healthy enough to be able to do the things that we're doing. And like one of the things that I do is I have a health band that I can put around their wrist, and I can see if we go for a jog to see what fitness level they're actually at in terms of their heart or their respiration. I would be able to gauge how fit they are. And I guess the second thing I would teach them is the basic attacks that usually happen, from what I know, and how I would react. Not saying it's the best way, but this is how I was taught to react in those situations. So,
Right.
and then we
Are
have,
there? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
we also have another girl who teaches Krav Maga. She was the youngest instructor for Krav Maga in Southeast Asia at one point. She's 10 years younger than me, but she's a total badass, si Regina. And so a lot of the girls who have no background at all in any awareness in self-defense, I would just urge them, please go first train some Krav Maga. And then, you know, from there, we can work on other things. We can work on Sagasa, we can work on kickboxing, we can work on bladed arts, so that it expands their horizon. Because the way that, because I took it per se so that I could see what they teach. And I think that it would, personally, I think that it would benefit a lot of girls who have zero background whatsoever. Because I wouldn't know the first thing about, you know, telling them what to do if they got their hair pulled.
Yep. So we're having a little.
I would be
Yeah, go ahead.
regurgitating. Yeah, I would be regurgitating exactly what I was taught. And I would rather that they learn it from the person who is qualified to teach it.
Okay.
Nice.
So then that comes into a segue. You know, we're talking about suggestions of who they could kind of go to or what they should kind of train. Question now is, how would you suggest they go and qualify an instructor?
That's a good question. How
Hmm.
do they know if they're getting good instruction?
Right.
Well,
Or they're connected with, or I mean, there's going to be a little bit of a different, you know, I guess
Yeah,
depending on
kasi
perspective.
actually,
But I
June,
mean, is there like a basic, just kind of
Yes,
core
okay.
checklist, so to speak? Nothing too deep, just on the surface level.
so the way a lot of the instructors here teach very differently from the way that they teach in the US. So if it's really for self-defense, I would really refer them to a group that is certified to teach it.
Okay. Yep.
So there are some
think
groups here
you-
that
Go ahead,
are really that they actually have the qualifications to do that. But if they want to box, you know, a lot of them go to boxing gyms and they don't actually get to be taught proper boxing. They're just, you know, papawis, yung mga pabilisan.
Yeah.
I
So-
agree. I agree 100%
And
on
that's
that.
not something that I like personally. That's not my goal. But if that's, I have to ask them, what is your goal? What is your goal? Do you want to learn? Do you want to get fitter? Do you want to learn to fight? Or do you want both?
Yeah.
If you want to lose weight, that's an entirely different. Like one girl came to us because she wanted to lose weight. And so that was an entirely different approach.
Yeah.
Right.
But she did the same things we did. And the only difference was she needed to go on a diet. So
Kasi
it depends talaga on the person's
Actually,
goals. And so depending on the
I
goals,
mean,
we would probably
losing
refer
weight
them to a
is
different
self-confidence. So that actually enhances also self-defense.
Correct.
If you don't have self-confidence, then
Correct.
they need to do that. I mean,
Correct.
Yeah.
And
Pero, go
like
ahead.
that one girl who approached us for that. She couldn't keep up with us in sparring. She was, I'd say, about 280 pounds.
wow.
But all she needs is one good hit.
One
So
good
we were
hit.
Yeah, I
all
met her.
afraid
I met her. Yeah.
we were afraid to hit her.
That's correct.
So
One good hit.
We
Yeah,
worked with her
yeah.
strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked with her strength. She didn't have to chase us. She just
Yeah.
needed to hit us,
Yeah.
or she needed to grab hold of us. At the moment
Yeah.
she took our arm,
Yeah.
you know, that
Yeah.
was it for us.
There goes that arm.
Yeah, so we taught her a little bit of how to sweep, how to throw, because we
Yeah.
can't sweep her.
Yeah.
No way we can sweep her.
Saka I'm a
Yeah.
bit confused dun sa ano di ba yung sinabi niya tinatanong niya, how do you know if it's a good instructor? Nagtataka ako
Yeah.
Hindi ba dapat at least 5 10th dan ranking tapos
No.
grade 2 grandmaster hindi ba dapat ganyan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, going back to that question though, and Kuya Paul, I wanted to go back to you and see what you were going to say. But it's not necessarily like the instructor specifications per se, but it's more what are those things that maybe they want to look for because if somebody doesn't have access to you and your network of people and insights, the average person that's out there that's maybe interested, where do they go? How do they start finding out? And what's a general checklist? And Kuya Paul, you were going to say something kanina when I presented the question. What were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking because you sent her the question. Actually, she answered that already.
Yeah.
Most people will go to her first. Then because she tried all the instructors, she already picked who are the good and the bad.
But that's people that have access to her. So I was kind of more generalizing the question for the people that doesn't have access to her, and who are out trying to basically honor.
To get access to her.
So that's kind of a touchy subject, actually. I would think, because a lot of nobody wants to hear that their instructor sucks.
Tama.
Yeah.
But the idea, I think, I wouldn't say that I would know the best. I know from what I was exposed to. So that's where I'm coming from. And like, for example, there was one girl who, by the way, never came back to our group because she was a Muay Thai fighter. Actually, she'd done Muay Thai for, I think, 4 years. And I had been boxing for only 2 years. And she wanted to learn what we were learning. And when we started sparring, and basically she didn't like that she was getting hit. So
okay, yeah.
So I would say that maybe the effectivity of our training might have been, a little bit more practical in terms of how it was applied when we started sparring each other. And it wasn't like a pit pat sparring. It was more like this girl was out for blood, and I was like, fuck. He had something to prove, right? And I was scared. I don't like that. I don't like that vibe off of other girls. But if she's going to give me that kind of energy, I will return the favor. So,
Nice.
I guess she wanted to test out her style, and I didn't see that coming until she started to spar me. And so I respected that was that was the energy she brought in, but at the same time I saw her face after, and she never came back.
Yeah, sayang yun. It's a good sparring partner for you if she stayed.
Yeah.
She would have.
It's her loss.
But it was her attitude that was the problem.
Yun yung sa mga videos, di ba, when we talk to old timers, yung generation namin, what we meant by gym sparring. That's exactly gym sparring.
Gym sparring.
Yung one of the things rin pala na, di ba, I said I stopped teaching physically self-defense, pero I used to teach women's groups. Walang touch anything. It's all mental. One of the things that it's not original, I read it because I started reading when I realized I didn't know how to teach women, I started reading on women's self-defense. There's a particular book, Strong on Defense. The name of the author is Strong, based on statistics and research of women who survived. Some had no training at all, but they survived. And then I realized, the main thing siguro that the switch, regardless of the technique, everybody knows awareness. Yung situational awareness. Everybody already teaches that. What's missing is, for women, it's not like for men. It's kind of built in kasi.
No, actually,
it's a misnomer. No, wait. Sabihin ko lang, no? I teach a lot of situational awareness. How to practically do it, like parang magkakaroon ka ng Pero one thing I teach the women is this. Self-defense is a misnomer. What you have to teach the student, dahil sandali lang siya, is how to aggress. Meaning to say, yung mga nag-survive, alam mo yung tinamaan yung pagkababae nila. Tapos ang technique is I do this technique. Some people, makikita mo, they feel like victims. Then you ask them, parang NLP. Do you have kids? Yeah. You want to see your kids tomorrow? Makikita mo, mag-aano yung mata nila. Tapos, sige, you anchor that feeling. The thing that they should do, they don't have to win dahil it's not a competition. Dapat they have to aggress because yung feeling of aggression, nagugulat ang lalaki. Technique has nothing to do with it, ha? Yung feeling of aggression. Tapos there's one thing na sinasabi ko sa babae. Physiologically, a woman can take more pain than a man. Men do not, this is true. Men do not give birth. Yep. So those two things, yung self-defense is a misnomer. So yung ang kailangan mo turo sa kanila, allow yourself to aggress. Ang problema dahil babae, di ba babae, hindi namin nature yung we're nurturing eh. No, you have to learn how to be a mother lion. You have to learn how to hurt. Kasi ang tunay na self-defense is constantly hurting someone. Yun lang yun. Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah.
So one of the I'm going to circle back with.
Let me add something.
Go ahead, because I know we're going to be on that before we change.
Well, the biggest thing about situational awareness, which hopefully Erika will pick up on this, you talk about it in classroom setting. So, but there's no practicality. That's what's missing. You need to show practicality. What is situational awareness? Because people will agree, oh yeah, I know situational awareness. Dali mo sa labas, they have no clue how to apply situational awareness.
That also applies to men. It's not a women thing only. That's
general public altogether.
General public altogether.
General public. That's why you get a lot. That's why you got a lot of men that are really good at fighting. They always end up fighting.
Yes, because they're not used to. Actually, that's one.
They don't have situational awareness.
That's the one reason why now I also try to convince people to learn shooting. Because situational awareness, if you have a firearm in your possession, is very, very important.
Grabe ang shooting.
That's when you really know situational awareness. So yun ang problem sa martial artists. Again, martial artists most of the time, when confronted by a situation, actually they're not good at situational awareness. What goes to their mind is, kaya ko to eh. Sige, lalabanan kita. That's not situational awareness. Tapos pala hindi nila kaya.
Yeah.
But with firearms, now
I see that a lot with guys, actually.
Yeah.
So it's refreshing. It's refreshing when it's a girl. Iba kasi yung reaction eh.
Yes.
In my experience.
Yeah.
The girls, they know that they're already at a handicap.
Correct.
At a handicap.
Yeah.
So
that is why in the Delta Force, that's why in special units, lalo na Delta Force, few people realize this. Maraming babae sa Delta Force. One of the best known retired na siya. Kilalang sa Special Forces community sa US. I forgot his name, legendary siya. He was saying, we need more men in the Special Forces. Kasi pagdating sa intelligence operations, magugulat ka. Nakakatakot ang babae, Shit, nakakatakot ang babae.
Women, sabi.
They will kill you.
Actually, with our shooting team here in Florida, our best shooter she's the girl. I mean, she can outperform us. And I saw her live situational awareness kasi napunta kami sa bad neighborhood somewhere in Dallas, border of Dallas. I mean, her situational awareness is very keen. I mean, kami mga lalaki, oh yeah, we're carrying something, baliwala sa amin, And then she's saying, dude, what are you guys doing? But actually, I mean, I know we're going out. I mean, let's go back to Erika because it's my personal opinion. We're interviewing Erika. So, go ahead.
Grabe kayo, you're taking over the interview. Ako magtanong sa inyo.
Okay, go ahead.
But going back to the question, circling. We were talking about everyday carry, and we were talking about specifically to your EDC. But what about your team and group? How do you advocate that with the group and train with that? How does that all work out or encourage it?
Well, uh, let I guess what makes our group unique is that almost all of us, I'd say 90% of us have gone through uh, physical abuse, violence, and sexual abuse. And so um, I'm sure I speak for everybody, and we don't want that to ever happen again. Not to us, not to our friends, not to the people we love. And so,
Right.
like I think that has conditioned our mindset, like what I believe Hubert and Henry were saying, that we naturally already have a different reaction to a situational awareness. We have a different sense of awareness already because it's already happened before and we don't want it to happen again ever. It's partly trauma and partly awareness. And so of course we will tell the girls to carry something, whatever they're actually, without disclosing her identity. One of the girls who had severely been beaten by her husband. Her family actually owns a firearm company, one of the biggest firearm companies in the country. Yep. So no doubt that girl can shoot. She's also a brown belt karate. She just never took her black belt test. But when she's actually one of the feistiest girls we used to spar with. She almost gave Chris a concussion at one point.
Dang.
Go karate.
He was also one of my favorite sparring buddies. If there's anyone that I would commend on that kind of awareness, it's her. Now, it's a matter of learning. Like for me, I would say for her and I, we have the awareness, we have the borderline paranoia, let's say, but we need the skill and we need the proper reaction.
Proper reaction, yeah.
So even pagka brown belt mo, mali pa rin yung reaction namin to certain things. So those are the things we try to drill each other on. So, our trainers will say, what do we do when this happens? So they'll be like, okay, so this is what we'll do. We'll drill this, and then this is how we'd like you to react if that ever happens again.
Yun yung no, it's Erica, do you find it hard since you're already aware and you're kind of street smart already? This has nothing to do with guys or girls. I noticed it's really hard to teach street smarts for people who have never been in the streets.
Into the street.
Yeah, parang it's self-defense is not. Would you say that self-defense is not a cut and paste thing, Erica? Diba? Parang people say, yeah. Can you expound on that?
It's just it's not something that everybody can pick up right away. Not even if it's self-defense, but like my uncle was telling me, some of the people he teach, especially some of the other girls that he's been teaching, they just don't have the natural parang fight or flight response. They're very sheltered, they're very easygoing. So their learning curve is a lot longer.
Yeah.
But their discipline is there. He was explaining it kind of like giving me a slap to the face, like we're such complainers, we're like, oh, my arm hurts. So he gets really she's like, come on guys, come on, oh, my arm hurts, let's just let's just eat.
Sasama kami dyan, kain lang tayo.
Actually, yun nga teaching them when to turn on the fight mode is the key. When to turn it on, when to turn it off.
Yeah.
Yan ang ganda ng combat sports eh. That's really I keep telling yung mga, di ba, I came from yung so-called Japanese martial arts, di ba? As much as I admire the Japanese, you cannot let go of yung mga ganda ng boxing, Muay Thai, ganon. Because yung pinag-uusapan natin ng killer instinct, that's where you learn it from eh.
Yep.
Alam mo ang one thing na Erica, I don't know if I've told you this before. Alam mo yung one thing na I don't see people training, it's not just killer instinct. Something na magagamit mo talaga sa States. Alam mo, sunahin mo. You go to a street at night, madaming aso. You try to cross that street without
Kita
being...
nga ata sa Amerika, hindi siya hahabulin.
agad.
Maraming
talaga.
ganyan dito. Maraming ganyan dito. I don't go to America for that.
De, pero yung pakiramdaman, you really have to drill it eh.
You have to
diba we
drill it.
did a little bit of it, Erika, diba? Yung nararamdaman mo yung bubble ng tao. Anong tawag dito? Tama si, you cannot talk, that's praxis eh. It's like me right now sa I learned permaculture theoretically, diba? Shit.
Yes.
It's like the internet, diba? They always show you how easy it is.
Saka dapat talaga
parang yung cutting the bottle with a string. It's so easy. What's naka 15 bottles na ako. Hindi ko basag lagi. God damn it.
Actually, dapat talaga is
Go ahead.
Actually, yung mga telltale sign kung you're about to get attacked, what angle, yun ang mga importanteng pinapakita eh. Kasi even when I taught Crafton, one of my best fighter, I tell him what to look for so he knows what's coming.
So it's tell, parang tell, no? Yeah.
Tell.
Yeah.
Tell.
At saka you have to
i-predict mo eh.
You have to kill the normalcy syndrome. Are you guys familiar with normalcy syndrome? Yung tinutukan mayroon may isang video in-explain lang ng normalcy syndrome. Yung isang guy linapitan ng isa pang lalaki. Tinutukan ng baril. So siya parang nakagayan lang. Pinutok yung baril, hindi pumutok. Siya nakatingin lang na ngayon. Kinasa yung baril, pinutok, hindi pa din pumutok. The whole time nakatingin lang siya. Hanggang kinasa 3 beses, pumutok, patay. So why? Kasi yung mind ng tao, shit, this is not happening. Yun.
Walang mapuntahan yung synapses niya eh. Diba? Walang mapuntahan eh.
Bigyan ko kayo ng story. Okay? Kasi nung nagtuturo ako ng women's self-defense, this girl who works at a pizza place in Arkansas, she was raped 3 times already. Same scenario. I don't know if it's she didn't tell me if it's the same guy that raped her.
Yeah.
So basically, when she closed her place, kasi manager siya, the guy took her from the pizza place to another location. He got raped 3 times. Nung 4th time, para ma-prevent niya yung 4th time, now she took the class. Alam mo, sabi namin sa kanya, baka hindi kasi niya sinasabi kung the same guy yung nagre-rape sa kanya eh.
Ayun ang mahirap.
Sometimes, if you can't fight because, either the guy's in drugs or whatnot, yung little na sabihin mo, pwede bang, can you move me a little bit? Kasi there's a rock behind my back. Kasi she's about to get raped. Sometimes it snaps the guy back to reality and realize, what the heck am I doing? Right? Actually, she got attacked the 4th time.
Dapat inupakan niya na, pare.
Yeah. The 4th time, ang problema nga, hindi niya ma-trigger yung fight instinct. Kaso nakuha niya yung in-advise namin na, can you move me a little bit because there's a rock behind me? Huminto daw yung lalaki. The guy stopped. And then the guy stood up and goes, what the heck am I doing? And left. So now she came back to us and said that's the only reason why it saved her. Not all the physical activity, not all the drills that we went through, but
it's probably brought him back to some normalcy.
Sorry to add, there's another dimension. Galing, no? It's like when you were saying about what you talk Crafton, diba we were talking about later after the recording, mag-usap-usap tayo nila Erika. Yung, di ba, yung langis ng FMA na hindi tinuturo. Ganun na FMA, di ba? Yung mga, yung mga, hindi yung sa technique eh. Yung, nakuha mo na, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung one of the things na nahirapan, eto, women and men, I'm not talking about women lang, is the realization that you're bigger than yourself. Ang real self mo extends to your network.
Yep.
So ako tinitrain ko yung tao pag na-realize mo na kailangan, ang Pilipino ganun kahit sabihin mo hindi military eh. Mga nagpapakilos, sabing ganun, dikit-dikit yun eh. Alam mo yun, pag may naharap ka, alam ba, nakaharap ka ng pulis. Ako, iisip, pulis ka. Teka lang, meron akong tiyong colonel ah. Doon pa lang sa salita mo, hindi, nakuha mo, sa salita mo pa lang makikita hindi ka na victim eh. Doon pa lang sa tono ng salita. Para siyang magic eh. So ngayon, pagka ang tao na-realize niya when you're planning your program, kasi yung physical self mo will take time eh. Pero pag nagawa mo na yung program mo sa sarili mo, sino kayo, anong network mo, anong ano mo, magugulat ka, mag-iiba yung reaction mo sa events, saka yung that minor thing that switches you from being a victim na, hindi pala ako victim pwede pala kita padampot
Yep.
And it's a small thing, but it's a big thing when you teach the student.
Pero
Self-defense is more than the physical aspect eh.
Can I just ask Erika, since siya yung babae, I think there's also a big difference in culture ng, well, I guess Western culture, no? Dahil halos na-mix na tayo ng Western culture or sa Middle East. Yung yung pressure, yung family pressure, because I've heard so much yung family nag-rape ng family. Alam mo yung hiya na it's a real thing, no? It's when we talk about self-defense kasi we always talk about nasa labas, stranger. Pero can you explain gaano kahirap ang ginagawa ng culture sa babae in terms of pwede ba magsumbong? Meron kasi akong close na ganyan parang basta umaabot parang yung culture na wag na, hiya lang kasi nakakaya.
Mahihiya
I don't know if you wanna talk how deep you wanna talk about it, but I think it's an important topic that we should talk about. Can you talk about that?
Well, I'll give you a smaller example. No? So, one of my cousins, we were at the shooting range and we got verbally harassed by two foreigners who were there. And one of them was clearly high. He shouldn't even be handling firearms if you were high. So that was the he asked my cousin if she was basically a dancer. And so my cousin was like, what do you mean a dancer? And he was like, a dancer, bitch. Are you a fucking dancer? And she was like, did you just call me a bitch? Like, she didn't even hear dancer. She just heard bitch. So I told her, alis na tayo. So we left. I guess the guys didn't know that we knew the owners of Armscore.
Yeah.
So we went straight to the owners. Yes. Yeah. So we went straight to the owners.
Armscore.
Yeah. So it started there actually. So that's just an example of the network. But at the same time, when we told her dad, he was like, "What did you do? What did you do that he would make that comment? He's not gonna make that comment if you didn't do something. How are you dressed?" We were like, what the fuck? And that's already my relative. So ginaganyan na kami.
Yeah.
So he basically said, don't make a bigger deal than it already is. I'm just glad you guys didn't get hurt.
Thing?
Yung shaming.
Kasi may bit-bit yun malamang may baril sila.
Daming connection ni Erika.
Dami. Pero are you seeing a what do you call this generational change, or is it still the same?
Sorry?
Are you saying, di ba I understand yung generation nga, di ba, na matatanda, mga parents natin. Do you see na medyo nag-iiba na rin? Or is will it always be the same? Yung bad culture natin.
I think in the next, when our generation succeeds, I guess, to take over our parents' generation, it might lessen a little bit, but that stigma, as long as there is the natural oppression that we always have in this country, that culture is still going to prevail until you have more powerful women in powerful places. That won't change. And so in our generation, it's slowly changing.
Or respect, di ba? That's I mean, basic respect. Dapat alam ng lalaki. Di ba?
So we need to chip away little by little.
Yeah.
So, and to get better.
Yeah.
But
Curious
it's not
lang.
only in the Philippines though. That thing also happens in the US.
Yeah. Can I just ask, baliktad naman, no? Since kasi ako wala akong daughter, ano yung nafe-feel naman ni June regarding this discussion? Since you have a daughter,
yeah, he
you are a man.
Yeah. I have a bunch.
Yeah.
All women in the house.
Yeah, hindi ko alam kung you were, before you had daughters, hindi ko alam kung a-hole ka before or what.
No.
Can you,
No, I'm one now. Before I was fine.
How do you feel as a father? Now there's this.
No, I mean, I think it's across the board. You're always that instinct of just want to protect your family, regardless if it was a daughter or son. It's just a little bit more because of the challenges, for women altogether. Obviously there's a little bit of different respect levels that they have here, and different components there and how women are viewed. So it's always a concern for me, but as a parent, you're just trying to figure out and make sure that they understand their worth, their value, and really kind of who they are, and try to guide them as much as you can with them. But it's always going to be a concern. And I still have that in the back of my mind, like, oh man, how, if and when or whatever something like that happens, like, what, how do I avoid, how do I prevent, what are the preventative things? And but it's always lingering there. It's always lingering there, and you just kind of do what you can to position them for the best, for the best, safest direction.
And teach them firearms.
Well, that's,
Yes.
I mean, they're already, through play, I mess with them a little bit and at least give them some fundamental ideas of here and there. I mean, right now, my 13-year-old, I would mess around with her. I'd come out and, what happens if somebody grabbed you here? And I put her in a headlock. And then, getting out of that, just messing around. Eventually, I do want to bring them into firearms. Actually, they're all, the firearms instructor that Paul and I are connected to, they're ready to bring them in and start teaching them. It's just a matter of timing and everything with current times. But for the most part, yeah, that's, I want them to be prepared as prepared as possible. Firearm training, weapons training, and just overall, self-defense.
Yeah. Erika, what are your thoughts about firearms? Yourself.
Who, me?
What are your thoughts about
Erika?
firearms? Erika.
Oh, Erika.
She
has an arsenal nga eh.
Yeah, pero her exact thoughts about firearms. Yeah.
I think the time.
Well, I always assume the other person also has a firearm.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, because the laws here are very different from the laws in the States or in the states that I've been in, there is a very different interpretation of equal power. So, your firearm cannot be your first go-to. Unless you see the other person with a firearm, that's the only time you can use yours. And so, but the importance of drilling and training with a firearm, I think, because I personally believe that we women are handicapped, physically handicapped already. I think that women should spend a lot of time drilling firearms and drilling blade defenses. I think the more we have in our arsenal, the better. I shoot everything from pistols to long rifle to machine guns.
Tanks,
Yeah.
flamethrowers.
Yeah. There's
Uh,
no.
Full-of
Actually,
tank.
What do you think
Full-of
of
tank.
peppers?
You
What do
know
you
what we
So-
should
Henry,
flamethrowers, check.
What do you think
50
of
caliber, check.
what do you think
Wow.
of pepper
Desert
spray?
Eagle. Henry, tell them when the first time you
Oh.
shot. When I took
I
you
know
to
my
shooting.
limits.
Yeah. First time I
Pepper spray.
yeah. What do you think of pepper spray?
I feel like in
That is-
times of panic, I may not be able to deploy it properly.
So you also need to train for that, di ba?
Yeah.
Yes, that is probably the most, like, because it's a spray. Like, I'll give you an analogy, like shotgun. It's a spray.
Yeah.
You have to be able to control the spray, especially if there's like
Crosswind.
wind. Wind is another element that's going to
Oh,
make it
yeah.
difficult for you to use
Yeah.
the pepper spray. So it's just something that, a lot of girls here, they carry it because it's readily available. But
Yeah.
I almost guarantee that in time of crisis, they're gonna fuck themselves over by inhaling that pepper spray by accident, by when they set it off.
Yeah.
Saka ang problema sa pepper spray is the deployment. It's slower than firearm or blade.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
ano mo pa
even
kasi
then,
yun eh.
Yeah.
teka lang tatanggalin ko muna to, twist ko muna to.
Ayoko lang dyan. Huwag kang gagalaw.
Huwag ka gagalaw. Pwede ka ba downwind?
Can you go on the other side?
Can you go on the other side?
Papunta na yung ano.
alam mo masarap i-develop sa sa babae. Kasi syempre, kung yung wife ko pangki kami, nanonotice ko may mga situations na ang hindi ko ma-explain is the art of the ambush. Because ang lalaki, di ba, ang lalaki may yan eh. Meron yang sayaw ng aggression. Di ba? Pagtatapatan mo yung sayaw ng aggression ng lalaki, dahil generally speaking, mas aggressive kami. Ano ka eh?
Correct.
Baka ma-out-aggress ka eh. Ang hindi ko masabi, when dealing with criminals, because I've dealt with criminals, I've captured criminals, hindi naman parate. Pero ang street smart is actually a game.
Oh.
It's hard to explain na it's a game.
Isahan.
The thing to survive is isahan. Ang daming situations ng lalaki, hindi niya alam he's in a vulnerable spot. Di ba? Or kunyari, yung babae walang alam, di ba? Lalapit. Yung pala paglapit, sucker punch. I guess yun yung ano ko na do you find yourself thinking of scenarios? Do you find yourself instead of yung parang harap-harapan na, you find your timing? It's called counter ambush. Do you train counter ambush?
For things that are you talking to me?
Yeah, conceptually. Yeah. Do
Okay.
you think of
Okay. So
di ba? Yeah.
I've trained an anti-abduction. I've trained for anti-abduction, and so one of the things that we had to learn was counter ambush.
Yeah.
One of the things that they stress, like for example, if we already had something, and I guess that also depends on how many attackers there are and what their goals look like. If they look like they're trying to get you into a vehicle, or if they look like they're just trying to have some fun with you, it's an entirely different approach, I guess. So, I'm sorry, what was the question? Sabaw.
I guess yung concept ng counter ambush, waiting for your time to strike. Parang criminal. Kasi ang criminals are not really martial artists eh. Meaning they don't fight.
Yes.
They're not pro boxers. They're
they're
Pero
predatory
sa-
more.
sa kanila sa kanila is
I think that's where the girls have a little bit of an edge. Women in general.
Yeah.
Women in general, I think, have a little bit of an edge in that aspect.
Mhm.
And so that's where women need to learn to because we can appear weak and we seem believable.
Yes.
You know, the
Yes.
moment we
Yeah.
we make our eyebrows like this, like that,
Yes.
Yeah.
then it already looks like we're frozen in fear. But
Yeah.
we're thinking of what to do and what to deploy.
Yes. Galing.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
thinking of the nearest exit. We're thinking of what we can use to hit. We're reading the body language of the attacker if he knows how to fight or if he doesn't know how to fight.
Nice. Yeah.
And that's where you can exploit that. And I guess,
Galing.
you know, the element of surprise and aggression, which you mentioned, can be used at that time,
Yeah.
at the right time.
So when I
yeah.
mentioned before about half beat, women should explore the half beat. Their count
Yeah.
is half beat.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Kaya minsan kaya yung naglalaro kayo ni Sophia about, you know, hindi ka nanana kasi may half beat siya. She's not thinking about destroying or protecting herself. She's just playing. Yung half beat lumalabas. Kaya hindi mo matalo.
Yes. Hindi niya inaano hindi niya binablock yung
Hindi niya binablock.
yung stimulus kaya nag-react talaga siya. Kasi literally pag nag-react siya. Anyway.
Kaya kadalasan,
yeah.
actually in when I was learning Thai boxing, ang isang goal namin is to spar women. So when pag tumaas kami, we fight them. Ang problema, the women will hit as hard as they can. Siyempre kami men, we're trying to not hit them hard. But when they attack us, it's aggression.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a point in time we have to hit them hard to put them in place. And then they go to the half beat. When they go to the half beat, that's when all the men are going, you know, they're watching around the ring. Oh boy, you're gonna get knocked out. You're gonna get knocked out. Because the guy can't figure out bakit tinatamaan ako, because the women were doing half beats.
Nice.
This is the 1-to-1. So
nice.
Yeah.
Shot
very good
placement
point.
kasi
Very good point, Erika. Very good point.
Nakakatakot din kasi yung impact ng babae kasi syempre given we can sustain more damage than them, but that's relative.
That's right, yeah.
That really is relative. There's some women like are athletic. Some men think that just because they're men. Pero tanggalin mo na yung yung ability to take a hit, yung mismong impact. Shot placement naman yan, like what you said.
Yeah. June, you can talk about that, am I right?
Yeah.
You met 2 of my students. Say something about that. What you felt?
No. I mean, these guys, you know, first of all, I was there with Zach, and both of us, you know, Zach is probably like what I'd probably say about 2 and change, but Paul's students were 2 women, probably, you know, 110, 120. And man, they were kicking their kicks much harder than we were. And it was just impressive. They had the technique down, their rhythm and timing and everything was just on point. But that's where you kind of realize the certain techniques properly executed it just talagang works. But I want to segue a little bit back to Erika with, you know, situational and situational I guess protection or awareness. Now I saw that you big motorcycle fan, huh? big motorcycle rider.
So and so. I enjoy it occasionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's the not situational awareness, but basically, you know, being defensive, thinking defensively, you know, being attacked and ambushed or whatnot. I mean, you're pretty much a lot more open. What's the thought process around that? You know, staying safe
on a motorcycle.
While you're on a motorcycle. Yep.
Well, since I don't think they can tell that I'm a girl under my helmet, so like I'll bun my hair up and keep it up so that if I'm stuck in traffic, it doesn't look like I'm a girl. If I have full jacket on, you know.
Yeah.
The only time I won't do that is if I'm with the rest of the girls riding. So we have a group of girls, we ride together. Or if I'm riding with some other guys, then maybe it, you know, I'll let my hair down.
Or
but usually if I'm by myself.
What's your bike?
So that's just approaching it from that standpoint. I don't want to give or tempt any opportunity, like you know, by exposing that maybe I'm a little bit more vulnerable. So here kasi, mga tao here, you don't know what they're thinking. So even if you're riding a big bike, the kind of bike you're riding, they're gonna look at that.
Yeah.
So just from approaching it, I don't want to make opportunities seem possible. And because the law doesn't actually allow you to carry blades.
Yes, I agree with that.
Doesn't allow you at all. At all. You're not allowed to be carrying blades at all.
Not unless if you're a farmer. Not unless if you're a farmer.
What are your thoughts about
this is in the Philippines?
Blade?
Yes, this is in the Philippines.
Because my first instinct would have been a little blade here under this seat, on this side of the seat, by the handlebars.
Then what are your thoughts?
Actually, it's on my belt all the time. Whether I'm allowed or not, I'll deal with it later. But it's on my belt. I have a few. I have a few.
Pero what are your thoughts about
Nice.
extendable baton? Since you do FMA, what are your thoughts about extendable baton?
I think that if it's used properly, I think that it could be it could be a good tool, but it's also not legal for us to carry that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not really. It's not really legal for us to carry that.
Wow.
Nunchucks is illegal in the Philippines too.
Can you drive around with a kamagong or something? I mean, a regular.
Kamagong is allowed. You can carry
kamagong. I'd be decked out with a lot of kamagong all around.
Bro,
all
kaya
around me.
nga ito yung finorge ko eh.
Yeah.
Actually, in the Philippines,
baseball bat pwede.
They're more afraid of the knife than the gun.
Yeah. It happens more often because sometimes the guns, they know that maybe you're not gonna shoot, maybe pantakot lang.
Yeah.
Mga ganun.
When I go,
you have someone with a knife. By the time they make bunot the knife, hindi ka pa nakabunot ng gun, and then you have to load it pa.
Yeah.
So by that time, you've been stabbed 5 times already.
Oh yeah. By the way, Erika, do you carry bullet in the chamber?
No.
So kailangan pa ikasa.
That's highly illegal. You're not even allowed to have it on your belt. You have to have it in a bag, and it needs to be holstered and zipped up.
Correct.
That's the law here.
Yeah, the law right now is like that now.
Yeah.
Is there a favorite bag?
Friends who are in the Philippines. I have friends right now who are working on trying to get the old law back that you can do inside the waistband or hidden. Also, they're trying to extend the license. So instead of, I think, 2 years, can be 5 years.
Yeah. Teka, theoretical.
There's a good product. Sorry, there's a good product right now. There's a good product right now that skirts around that law. Have you seen that messenger bag? The way they built it. So it's inside the bag. Pero it allows you quick draw.
Yeah, I've used that.
Very good product.
Yes.
Hubert, I actually used that.
Yeah.
I demoed it when I volunteered to teach at Arms Corps.
Yeah, then I like the product because you can buy a trauma plate, insert it there, then you can put it in your chest.
Yeah.
Ganda. It's a really good product.
Sayang kasi I volunteered to Arms Corps to teach. Kaso because of COVID, nahinto yung mga volunteering action ko.
May question ako sa inyo. Knowing that the law is like that, you can't chamber the round, di ba? Hindi katulad sa ibang sa states.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it mean that carrying a revolver here makes more sense sometimes?
No.
Okay, why? Sige, yan. Go ahead.
Problema mo dyan is reloading.
Okay.
I rather have the quick there's people there that trains revolver, but you have to train properly to reload fast.
That's
number one. And number two,
go ahead, sorry.
it's harder to conceal the revolver.
Mm,
Actually, okay,
okay.
sa akin lang to, a lot of people in the Philippines, even though the law doesn't say nothing in the chamber, they carry it with something in the chamber.
Yeah.
Explain it later. Because sino makakaalam if they shoot somebody that there's a bullet in the chamber already. They're never gonna know.
Yeah.
There's another thing na we will discuss when the recording is off, but I'm pretty sure Erika knows this. May mga
So,
paraan. That's what we teach the students. May mga paraan. This is Philippine society. For every law, may ano yan.
yeah,
May magic yan.
may palusot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but you have to know what to say, di ba?
Yeah. That's also part of the training, by the way.
Allegedly, I heard.
That's also a part of the training when you do shoot. That's why I like to tell people to learn how to shoot, because the shooting community, they teach you all from beginning till the end. They give you scenarios of, if you end up shooting someone, are you prepared what to say to the law enforcement when they come?
Yeah. That is why, di ba, yung self-defense, yung real instructors, it will all depend on the state, the country, the law.
Yeah.
Okay, iba
I mean,
yan eh.
If you use a knife and you kill the guy with a knife, it's hard to explain.
But there is a way.
But there's a way. Yeah, but it's a hard
way.
Society will accept.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But the thing is, society will accept more. I mean, they're more lenient to people who will shoot somebody than if you knife somebody. You have more explaining to do if you kill somebody by a knife or a blade than shooting a person.
That's siguro I can say this, no, kasi those issues matagal ko na when I was back in yung anti-crime advocacy. This is from a different perspective. Kawawa rin ang mahirap. Because the reality is, we coming from a certain social class have really more latitude.
Yeah.
Actually, nakakatawa nga eh. Parang, di ba, pag nag-hire ka ng mamamatay tao dito, hindi naman parang sino yan eh. Ang presyo, depende kung anong social class nung titirahin mo eh.
Yeah.
Kasi
That's
dito,
correct.
literally, alimbawa tayo, may kaya. Hindi ko ina-advocate ang dali magpapatay ng ng masa eh. Hindi ka makukulong.
Life is...
So, ang difference dito, mag-iingat ka pag ang babanggain mo, medyo ka social class mo, mas mataas. That's the sad reality. And the thing is, the thing is, di ba yung batas dito, you think they're doing it to what you call this for everyone's favor. Now you're gonna realize that the laws here are actually being set up para dun sa people in control. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. All right.
But very good discussion, Erika.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you
you
need to. Yeah. Go ahead, June. You're the facilitator.
No. It is a great discussion, but we're probably going to wrap up here soon. But before we wrap up, I want to ask one quick question. If you had to choose, is it going to be riding motorcycles or free diving?
Nice.
Free diving.
Free diving. Bakit? What?
I don't need to hear anybody's bullshit when I'm down there.
There
What's your PR? What's your personal record to free diving? How
80 feet.
Yung nag-ano free dive pala.
Wow. But that's really dangerous, man. That's really dangerous.
Am I
Is that part of the reward?
May asthma pa ako.
Wow.
May
Dang.
asthma pa ako.
Orgada?
80 feet.
So
Dang.
am I correct in that yung 'di ba yung you spend more time para hindi ka magka-bends. You spend more time going up, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In free diving, you don't get the bend. You don't get the bends free diving.
Yeah.
The only time you get the bends is if you introduce new air into your system when you're in a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
But what's the
Kaya,
danger?
kaya
What's the danger in
nakaka-free
free
dive
diving?
sila eh.
What is the danger naman sa free diving?
Shallow
Drown.
water black
Which is what?
What?
and
What's that?
drowning. Shallow water blackouts and drowning, I guess.
Okay, okay.
Drowning.
And drowning. And
Drowning
sharks.
lang
Running out of
naman.
air.
And
May
sharks
story ako
and
dyan.
orcas.
But we'll do it on not
Yeah.
on camera, not on
Yeah.
recording.
Yes.
Agi na ako mamatay.
Actually, I guess that's the cue to wrap it up. We've been kind of having some dialogue here. Wala
Erika
dito si
mentioned us,
Yeah.
your advocacy, where to get you, just to repeat how they can find you and learn more about your program.
Yeah. And any last thoughts?
Last thoughts, yeah.
I don't think I have any last thoughts other than what I've already mentioned. I think that women need to assess their needs and their realities and see how they can make this world their bitch. I would say.
That's how we are saying it. Yes.
The reality we all face, and I think that it's important that they decide for themselves what they actually want out of this life, and you can only keep what you can defend. So like me, I started to train, and that's what I thought that would help me throughout the course of my life. not just for self-defense, but also for work. Changed my perspective, I guess. And so I guess if they want to get in touch with our group, if they want to train, they can reach me through Instagram. My handle is Rixfern, RAXFERN. So they can reach me there. Send me a PM.
Yep.
Nice. Very good.
Awesome.
Very good.
Good. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the
Thank
insights.
you for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you.